Hey guys, Chef Ryan here, having a blast with the Batmobile and the Green Hornet. Both of these I made probably late 90s, late 90s, something like that. And again, you guys know that when we do the Batmobile, when I do the Batmobile, I always put like a red light coming out the back there to mimic the turbo flames. And just for fun, when I made the Green Hornet years ago, I would put like a green light in the cab there for the Green Hornet. Now, what's interesting about the Batmobile is I've always loved them. I always thought it was the best car that Aurora made as far as, you know, being really cool, growing up like that. And when I started reproducing them, I could make the lines on the Batmobile, on the fins there. I could do the lines over the wheel wells and all that stuff. And I even painted Batman and Robin up. But the hardest thing in the world to do was to paint that damn bat by hand. It was just horribly hard, horribly hard. I even looked into like making a stencil, you know, and I got a quote. It was like over $250 to make a, not a stencil, but like a punch hole to make a stencil to do the bat. And I thought, 250 bucks? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So lo and behold, probably, I don't know, last year sometime, I saw that there was a company making, I think it's called G Studios, making a very, very small bat hole punch. What I did with this bugger is I punched out a small bat, and you can see it right here. This is a Dash Batmobile, but the bat looks really good, really good. What that is a, like one of those round dot stickers, and I punch it out and I put it on there. It looks awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. So we have a Dash Batmobile. Finally, we can put the bats on the side of the door. You know, and is it going to look exactly like Aurora? No, definitely not. Not going to look like exactly like Aurora. Is it going to be good enough? It's going to be superb, guys. It's got more detail than the Aurora Batmobile. So I'm going to be making stickers or like a stencil. If anybody wants a stencil, let me know. But it should come out really good. Okay, let me show what came in here. Just a sec. The mail was just delivered just a bit ago, and I got a package in. And it's a rather large package. And if I'm not mistaken, it just has one T-Jet in it. It should be an ice cream truck. Yeah, I know I've got the ice cream truck, the one that cleans the track, and I think I've got another one over here that's just in really good condition. But the reason I got the ice cream truck, it looked horrible. It looked like there was just like all kind of oxidation, the verdigris on the chassis, the decals that come off. It just looked like horrible. Quite frankly, I felt sorry for it and I had to get it. So let me go ahead and get it out of the package, guys. Just a sec. Just get it out of the package. It's packaged pretty well. Look at the front bumper. There's like no chrome on there, no wheels. Not axles, the hubs look, I'm sorry, horrible. Let's take this over the bench. Let's just get this on the bench. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and take a look underneath. Okay, again, in the pictures he had online, look at the verdigris. It was horrible. Look at the back axle. Oh my God. There's so much rust on the screws, the screw head, the back axle. You know what I'm thinking, guys? I'm thinking probably hit each screw post as best I can with maybe like a little WD-40. As rusted as they are, if I just go ahead and try to unscrew them, I might crack a screw post. And okay, here's another thing. The decals, absolutely horrible. They look like they're coming off. Gross. Again, I felt so bad for this thing. I felt like I'm the guy that could probably restore it. So let's see what we can do. We got to get the body off the chassis. That's one. We got to get the front bumper off. I'm probably going to spray that with the Molotov chrome paint. And here's one thing I'm noticing. I don't know if I saw this in the pictures. Look at the top here. Look at the top here. Right? Yeah, there. It looks like it's bent. Or, yeah, it's broken a little bit. Okay, well, we'll have to amend that. And again, the stickers, I tell you what, the decals, they're going to come off. I'm going to get this thing in some warm water. They're going to come off. But the first thing I got to do, I got to get that chassis off. And let me find the WD-40. I'll get some spray on that under those screws, see if we can get them screws off. All right, guys, just a sec. Just got the WD-40 out, and I've got the little spray nozzle on there. I'm going to need both hands, but I'm going to go ahead and spray those screw posts and the screws there just to see if we can get underneath some of that rust and get the body off the chassis without cracking the screw posts. You know what? All right, very good. You see how wet both the screw posts are? I just nailed it with the WD, and it's I'm going to let it set for a bit. Then I'm going to very, very easily and cautiously try to get those screws out, and then we can go ahead and discombobulate the chassis. Then we can go ahead and get the front bumper off, get this thing cleaned up and looking better. Okay, good. Just got the front screw and the guide pin off. It was a bugger. I'm trying to get the back one off. It's tough, guys. It's tough. I hit it with the WD-40 for just a bit. I might give it a little bit, but it's tough to get off. See what I can do. I sprayed that back screw post again while it was still on the chassis with a little WD-40. I got the needle nose out to try to get off, and I got it just a little bit. But look at all the rust on the inside there, and I didn't even turn it over yet. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that top plate. Just completely rusted. Guys, I'm going to get out the Brasso. We're going to get this thing cleaned up. I'm going to get the body washed up and get all the goddamn decals off and get some new ones on there. But boy, look at that chassis. This is probably going to be one of the toughest ones I've had with all that oxidation on there. I mean, you can even see the, again, the verdigrease on the bottom side there. We're going to need a few parts like springs, another shoe. It looks like it's got the brush. It looks like it's got the magnets, just for fun. Just for fun. Let's just see if we can get anything out of it. I know it doesn't have the shoe, but I'm going to touch it anyways. No, there's no spark. There's nothing. There's nothing. All right, this might be one of the hardest chassis I've ever done, guys. Look at all that rust and oxidation on there. All right, let's get it apart. Let's get into it. Just got the engine clamp off, and the top plate doesn't want to come off. I'm going to need both hands. And, you expect it to pop right off. No such luck. Beyond horrible corrosion. Look at the front axle. Oh my God! Look at this thing. Wow. What are we going to do with that? I don't know. We'll find something out. The reason it's so oily and slick, obviously, because I did the WD, but it didn't do anything to the top plate. This thing does not want to turn, move whatsoever. I got the brushes out. They're disgusting. The front guide pin and screw are out. Disgusting. Got the magnets out. They got crap all over. We'll get that clean. But boy, we've got to get this bugger cleaned up and looking a whole lot better. What I'm thinking about doing now is just taking this to the sink and just see if we can get some warm water and get these dirt old decals off. I know I've got a set, I hope I've got a set of decals to redo this. So let me go and check, see if I can find those real quick. Look at there, guys. Brand spanking new. You got to cut these out. Gentleman online has produced these. He did an exceptional job of it. You cut these out, take the backing off, stick them on. They're going to replace the ones that are on here. Now, what's interesting is I don't think that the one there on the driver's side, I think that should have been on this side. I'm going to have to look at the schematics, but I think they may have that one on the wrong side. I may be wrong, but I'll definitely check. So we'll cut these out. We'll get them looking good, and after we get this bugger cleaned up, we'll go ahead and get those new decals on. But it was an absolutely wonderful deal. I only wanted, when I ordered them, I only wanted one set of decals, and he ended up sending me a couple of them. So kudos to this guy, and they look just absolutely wonderful. So I'll be cutting those off and getting these on, but we really have to get this bugger cleaned up. Tell you what, I'm on my way to the sink. I got my toothbrush out there, and I can't get that back screw post. I can't get the back screw out of the back screw post with a screwdriver. I'm going to have to use the needle nose to get that bugger out. Then I'm going to go ahead and wash it up. All right, guys, we have very, very hot water. What I'm going to do is just run it under the water here and just try to get it cleaned up, try to get all the rust, all the oxidation off. And I'm going to let it be under here for a little bit as I'm cleaning it up. And these stickers should come off. If there's any like residue where the stickers are, I'll use like isopropyl alcohol and get them off. But this hot water alone should really get a, there you go, look at that, it's already coming off, So let me go ahead and work on this for a bit, guys. All right, very good. I just got it out of the water and it got most of the decals off, but the residuals, like where the adhesive was, that did not come off. A lot of the what it looked like with the candy bars and whatnot on the side came off, but I still have to get the residual off. I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol. Let me do this. I'm going to take it back out to the bench and see if we can get it cleaned up a little bit more. Looking good, looking good. I got about 90+% of the residuals off with this isopropyl alcohol. I got a couple of the pads there. I still have a little bit more to do on the back there and some here on the side, but overall looking really much better. When we get these stickers glued on here, or glued on, they're self-adhesive, but when we get those on here, it's going to look so much better. So let me do this. I'm going to still finish this up, get a little bit off the back there and some off the side there. Then we also got to get the front bumper off. That shouldn't be too hard, but my God, the whole thing is, there's no chrome on there. The whole thing's yellow. When we get done, it's going to look a whole lot better, guys. All right, let me work on getting the last little bit of those residuals off. Just a sec. Okay, really good. I got this washed up. Looks really good. I've got, it's still wet. I got to towel dry it some more, or shirt dry it some more. But I got all the residuals off of the stickers that were on there, which is real good. Again, I did it with the isopropyl alcohol. It just takes the residuals right off. I started doing some in the middle there. I tried, guys. I tried to get all that rust stains off without sanding it. That's probably as best as I can get it. Now the front bumper, I know, looks horrible. We need to get it off. I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife, and what I'll do is I'll just trim off the flashing that's on these little knobs, and then this front bumper should come off. We're going to spray that with the Molotow. I got some Molotow chrome paint here, guys. If you haven't used the Molotow chrome paint, it's absolutely wonderful. This is a refill. So I use that for my airbrush, and I use that to fill up the pens that I use. I have a 1mm pen and a 2mm pen, and I use that to refill it. Plus, again, I use that for the airbrush. So we will get that bumper looking better. Let me go ahead and dry it off a little bit more, and I'll get that front bumper off for us. All right, good. I just started cutting away some of the flashing here, and I was just getting ready to pry it up under here. That's what you do to try to get the bumpers off the ice cream truck here. I don't know if they're ready. We're going to keep trying to pry it up under there. It looks like I got most of it cut out, but boy, it's just, oh, there it goes. Very good. Same thing over here. There it goes. Okay, good. I did have enough cut off. Fantastic. We got the bumper off, guys. We got the bumper off. And the truck itself looks good. You know what? We probably should put some VRP on here, but I'm going to be mindful of where the stickers are going to go as to not to VRP like too much. I'll do the roof, the hood, that kind of stuff, like the side panels where it's tubbed out here a little bit. But I'll be mindful not to really get too much on the VRP on where the sticker is going to go. So good, we got that done. And the front bumper looks horrible, absolutely horrible, doesn't it? All yellowed out like that. I tell you what, the Molotow chrome, I'm going to have to get the airbrush out in here. We're going to do that. Let me think. If I got anything else I need to spray with the Molotow, I'll get that out too. But I don't want to just go ahead and use one of the markers and try to get this looking good. I'm going to spray it and make it look pristine. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and put this aside for a second and get on that chassis. All right, just look at the chassis. The front axle does not turn at all, nor does the back one. They are locked up, guys. I'm trying hard. I can't get either one to turn. But look at all the corrosion on there. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm going to do my best to get these hubs off and get those axles out. But look at the back one. I mean, just corroded in there. And I know, again, I said it earlier, we're going to need another shoe, another spring, that kind of thing. And man, this is, I tell you what, Let me get the hubs off. This whole thing might be going into the Brasso just to try to get everything uncorroded to where I can get the axles off. Let me see what I can do. I tell you what, I was just fussing with the chassis like I was telling you, but the same thing's going on here with the armature and everything. It is frozen. It is locked. I even hit it with a little bit of the WD-40. Guys, it's not moving. It's not turning whatsoever. And I tried prying this out a second ago. It isn't, the idler gear, not coming out. All right, let me put this stuff in front of me, see what I can do. Boy, it's disgusting. I just got the first hub off there. There is so much damn rust on here. It's unbelievable. I can't even move the axle yet, and I got one of the hubs off. Let me try to get the other hub off that front axle. Okay, this is how far bad the corrosion was. Is I got the hub off. I got that off just a second ago. But then I tried getting the axle out, and when I started pulling it with the needle nose, the hub itself was so corroded, it hardly took anything and it broke. So I've got to get I still got to get it out. So I got to get out. So I'm going to probably use a needle nose and just keep working on it. You know what? Damn, I've been working on it for about a minute. I'm still trying to pull that bugger out. I got the needle nose going on here. It's actually moving a little bit. But boy, all that corrosion there is stopping it from getting it out. So again, let me go and get it in front of me. It's easy to see if we get the rest of this bugger out. Just got the last of all 4 hubs off, and I kind of ruined them by using the needle nose trying to get them off. I still have got to get that back axle out. Again, let me put it in front of me, see if I can get that out with the needle nose. Well, I tell you what, look at that. It just, like a quarter turn, and it popped. It just popped right in half. So I've got 2 broken axles there. We'll get more axles. But this is the worst corrosion I've ever seen on a T-Jet chassis. This is the worst. Boy, I don't know, I've been on it for about 2 minutes now. I'm going to have a hell of a time getting this thing out. I just hit it with some more oil there. Maybe that'll give it a little bit more leeway for me to get it out. I'm going to use a needle nose on it again. Finally, boy, I got that back axle out with the crown gear, and it's still on the crown gear. I kept trying to pull it out this way, then finally I just nudged it a little bit. I realized I could get it out this way. So I have still got to get the axle out of that crown gear, but I know I'm going to need 2 new axles, so let me go and scrounge those up as well. Okay, here is where we're at. I got the top plate here, and I'm taking everything apart and trying to get it cleaned up. I just oiled this, and it just barely turns. This whole assembly is probably going to go into the Brasso, see if it helps it out a little bit, and this will go into the Brasso as well. It is so gunked up. It's got so much crud on it. Brasso is going to help us out. Everything that's copper here, probably even the axles, I could probably just clean this with the wire brush. But everything, I'm not going to use these. I'm not going to use the screws. They're too far gone. Everything here that's brass, I'm going to put it into the Brasso and see if we can get it cleaned up real good. Okay, good. I got everything in there that I'm going to cover with the Brasso. I've got the Brasso here. I've been shaking it up real good. And what's interesting is, yes, it'll get the copper looking good, but it also gets the oxidation, the verdigrease off there. So let me go and just slather the Brasso on there. We'll wait a bit, then we'll wash everything up. Now, I know I'm doing the com plate, the engine, everything. And listen, you're gonna wash it, get it wet. Yeah, I sure am. But I'm gonna dry it, make sure everything's dried thoroughly before I reassemble it. Make sure there's no moisture in it whatsoever. Then oil it, and it should be good to go. All right, everything brass, as far as that chassis goes, is in the cup there. It is slathered with the Brasso. It's just going to stay there for a bit. We're going to see how much of the oxidation rust we can get off, and then we'll go ahead and wash everything up and let it dry properly. Everything's been in the Brasso for long enough, and look at that, boy. You see how it's turned a lot of stuff like that bluish green? That's the Brasso working. I've got to get all this stuff to the sink and go ahead and get it washed up. Okay, very good. I just got everything out of the sink, washed everything out, scrubbed everything real good with a little toothbrush there. I'm going to dry it off, and we'll go from there. Okay, just started drying everything off. It's coming out pretty good. I tried turning the engine here, and it's just stiff. It is totally stiff. I think I've got all the parts I'm going to salvage out of there. I'm going to use the magnets again. The brushes, they're questionable. The brushes are questionable. I started, as you can see, on the paper, I started trying to clean them, but there's one side that's smooth. There's another side that feels like it's got a burr on them. I don't know if it's the rust oxidation. I don't know what's going on, but I'll have to try to clean them further. I'll use the guide pin again, but definitely not the screws. They are just horrible, absolutely horrible. Quite frankly, probably should have put those in the Brasso as well. Probably should have put them in the Brasso. So let me go ahead and clean this stuff up. I'm going to dry it off a little bit, and we will go from there. Okay, here's where I dried everything off, and that was like last night. And the engine plate being so rusted and everything, I sprayed it again with the WD-40 and just let it set. I just let it set overnight. And this morning I just started tinkering around a little bit, and the drive gear there, I got it off, and I don't know where it's at. I checked the bench, I checked the floor. It doesn't exist in this universe anymore. It's gone. I think I have one more. But probably not more than that. And the cluster gear shaft, that came out. I sanded that with the Dremel, and then the pinion drive gear there. That one, I still got to clean that up a little bit. But at least the top plate, the engine, everything's moving. I got to, again, get the gears a little bit cleaner and see if we can get it working and moving better. What I do, I got the one of the kits out for the decals there. I got that out. The nice thing about these decals, cutting them out, no problem. Everything's a straight cut. Everything's straight cut. And I was thinking just a bit ago, the bumper, it looks like it's ready to be re-chromed. I think I'm still going to put it in the easy off, and just to see if there's any residual chrome on there and get it really good and clean. Then when we spray it with the Molotov, it should come out real good. I got some fresh screws for us. A guide pin, that's the old guide pin. The crown gear, that's new. And the hubs there, those are ones we made probably last year sometime. Didn't make the hubs, but we re-chromed them with the Molotov, and we got some fresh rubber tires there. So we still have a lot of work to do here as far as getting that engine back working, getting those gears back clean. Let me see what I can do real quick. All right, very good. I got the drive gear on with the cluster gear shaft. I got that on there and everything, and it's articulating. I oiled it up a little bit. I think it's time for reassembly. I'm going to oil as I go. I get everything shined up. The shoes look good. I did the axles, the engine clamp's good. And what I did with the brushes last night, they were smooth on one side, but they really weren't smooth on the other side. What I did, instead of just rubbing on that paper, is I took the back side of the sandpaper here, and I rubbed them on that right there. And then it seemed to, they both had like a little bit of a rough or a burr on them, probably some rust or oxidation, and they come out real good. So let me go ahead and reassemble. I can't wait to even see if we'll get a spark. I don't know. I really don't know. But let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Getting it back together, I just thinking, hey, listen, I know I've got all the parts here, but if it doesn't work, I do have another chassis over here, so I'm not done yet. But getting it back together, oiling as I'm going, getting the magnets, the brushes in, get that top plate on.